While the head of the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees has issued a stark warning about Israeli plans for the mass displacement of Palestinians in Gaza towards Rafah. In a statement on social media on the platform X, Philip Lazzarini says this would de facto create massive concentration camps at the border with Egypt for the Palestinians displaced over and over across generations. He also says that this would also deprive Palestinians of any prospects for a better future in their homeland, and adds that we cannot be silent and complicit in such large-scale forced displacement. Well, joining us now on Al Jazeera is Juliet Touma, who's Director of Communications for UNRWA, and she joins us from Amman, Jordan. Thank you so much for being with us. A foreboding warning there from the Commissioner General of UNRWA that the current Israeli displacement plan amounts really to the creation of massive concentration camps in southern Gaza. Is this now a lived reality unfolding on the ground?
Well, thanks for having me. We hope not, because if it happens, it will push further tens of thousands of people who have already been displaced many, many times during this current war, but also over the generations, push them further south and from there into the unknown.
If UNRWA is asked to resume humanitarian operations in Gaza, which are now suspended, only within this so-called humanitarian zone that the Israelis have established, would UNRWA agree to it?
The question is, where are we going to be allowed to work? We work right now where we have people who need us most in UNRWA shelters, around those shelters. And we do this only when it is aligned with humanitarian principles. And we categorically, in the United Nations, including at UNRWA, refuse any forced displacement of any population, including the Palestinian people.
But refusal of cooperating with this, Ms. Touma, also means, I guess, knowingly withholding aid from desperate civilians. How do you reconcile with that?
I'm not sure we need to spend more time on what is a statement so far. What needs to happen right now is to focus on reaching a ceasefire, on allowing UNRWA to bring in much needed supplies. You see, we have over 6,000 trucks in Egypt and Jordan, full of medicines that's soon expiring, food that's also going off. We have hygiene supplies. All we're saying is lift the siege, get a ceasefire, allow UNRWA and other UN organizations to do our work. Let's not spend time more on ifs and maybes.
Are you currently in contact with UNRWA staff inside Gaza? Are they able to move, operate, or provide any services at all under the current Israeli restrictions?
Yes, we have 10,000 very dedicated Palestinian humanitarian staff who are holding the fort because international staff have not been allowed back into Gaza since end of March. We're not getting visas or permissions to go there or to the occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem. But we do have a very dedicated number of staff, doctors and nurses who work in our health clinics. They also manage the shelters for tens of thousands of displaced people. And also in the West Bank, we have clinics open. We've just concluded the school year for about 50,000 kids. So we are there through a very good cadre of national staff, Palestinian staff who are holding the fort in our absence.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the West Bank, Ms. Touma, because that is being described as a silent war. And what remains of your role there in the West Bank, where we have seen quite a campaign of displacement of Palestinians and settlement expansion is taking place there. What impact does that have on your ability to help people on the ground?
Well, indeed, according to UNRWA, this has been the largest displacement since the war in 1967. We estimate that at least 40,000 people have been forced to leave the refugee camps, in particular in the north of the West Bank. Our teams are there, just like they are in Gaza. We deliver primary healthcare. We give relief and basic assistance, emergency assistance to displaced families. But according to our staff, the vast majority of those camps in the north, and in particular, the camp in Jenin, has been all but destroyed.
Thank you for speaking to us about this and giving us a picture there of the situation, not just in Gaza, but in the occupied West Bank. Juliet Touma, Communications Director for UNRWA, joining us there from Amman. Thank you for your time.